Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. Back up here at smelting, just filling in some holes and tying up some loose ends. I spent some time in between episodes handcrafting many things with the resources that we have. We don't have like a make anything area, mall, yard area yet. But it's definitely on the to-do list of things to get done. Actually, you know what? I don't think that's true. Nothing's on our to-do list right now. Make everything place. There we go. All right, now we have that on our list. And there's other things we need to do, like make all the sciences. I need to work on that list. There's no reason to have the list if you're not going to use the list. This should all be set up and pretty good to go right now. We do need to wrap up some smelting things down, or not smelting, some mining things down at the iron mining site. So let's do that. That should take care of copper initially, iron initially, as well as steel initially. We still don't have stone bricks. They are located conveniently way over here out in the middle of nowhere. We've also got one located here, way out in the middle of nowhere. We've got this one, which we might be able to make do with, but I still don't know how we're going to handle the transition over from our bootstrap base there. It's kind of a big mess right now. No flailing, no flailing. All right, flailing seems to work a lot better with the railroad tracks than with other entities. That tree right there is going to bother me. And that tree right there is going to bother me. Let's go ahead and take those out. We'll leave this as a nice little meditation grove for us. You got that? Good. Let's see. We do need a loader. I don't know if we have one of those. We do? All right, and our train just comes to the next fish station. Excellent. I like the way that it ended up working out. Okay, we need, let's see, not that. We need this. And I think I threw just a couple of them down. I think I'm going to continue with that idea. Let's do like right there. Right there. And just for now, we'll take this down. I will take this down. Let's just combine them, split them, because I feel like we need to do that, though it's probably not necessary here. And feed that into there. A little bit of power. Check our station name here. That looks good. Check our station name here. That looks good. And I think our iron mining operation is at least functional for now. We need some scale up. We need more miners and more trains and things. But for right now, it's working like I want it. Loading iron ore. Interesting. What are you missing? Oh, yeah. Good idea, guys. Let's see. Let's throw one of you right there. One of you right there. We'll just leave that much ammo in there for now. And you... What if we moved you from there up, like right here? And this radar, what if we took you... What are you doing? You doing anything? I don't think you are. And that'll at least get it in range of some turrets so that it'll be somewhat protected. All right, I like it. I think this works. All right, so I am going to head back to this area to resupply some things. We will roll the intro, and I will see you very shortly after. Yeah, look at that, right up there. No defenses at all. Yeah, I know. I'm sure it'll be fine this episode. We'll just kind of not show that part of the map, and next episode we'll get it cleared up. We won't get attacked here. No way. All right, so I am in an open area right about here, and I think this is where I kind of want to set up. I don't think depot's the right word, but train waiting station. I set up a concept kind of like this in the Impractical series, and I don't think that particular design is going to work with what I'm wanting to do here. So let's just kind of lay out some things and see if this will work. All right, I'm going to start out with an N. This is like a T junction that only has an entrance. It doesn't have an exit. And someone was telling me that in this blueprint that these power poles are lined up incorrectly. Let's just see. We get our T-junction out. They are totally correct. That's not fortunate. You should be... Oh, this is not right either. It's all gone wrong. What did I do? All right, that is there. You are going to be right there. Yes. Okay, so that is actually correct. I will fix that and get that updated in the blueprint book. And then we need the green wire going up there. There. All right, so there is our in, and I want to use a straight rail piece, but we're not going to use all of it. Let's do just the big long one here. Take that up for power poles and spacing, and then we want to clear out this side. So in the Impractical series, what I did is I had a centralized station that I used for refueling as well as just sitting. Sitting and waiting for that signal to come in that something was actually needed. And it worked okay, but it suffered from the setup that I had. It suffered from the condition that if I get a iron signal coming out on the line or a coal signal out on the line, if I have one train, it works out great. But if I have two trains, if I just get one station that's requesting iron, it's going to send both trains out. It's the classic problem with these vanilla setups. Where are we at right now? And that suffered from that, and I was working with some ways to resolve that, and that's one of the things that I'm going to work on. I got a system that I think kind of might work, but it wouldn't work with the depot setup that I had in the Impractical series. I think what we need is an extra layer on top of that. So we're just going to see. So what I want is an entrance that comes in, and then on this side, what I'd like is a lot of trains just kind of waiting. We're going to have numerous stackers. So let's get the stacker blueprint here. This, if I recall correctly, is a little bit larger than the one I was using in my blueprint book, and you are facing the wrong way. All right, let's see if we can plop this down. Let's turn off robots. Pull out our station rails. Yeah, see, it's one train track wider. All right, so we want to get the other one. This one right here. And we want to take this part of it. Did that not Control X? And line it up with that right there. Let's get in a little bit closer. That right there, and then we can fix those little holes right there. All right, that should be the stacker that we want. Now, how much stacking do we want? We can take it all the way down here and bring it up. Boy, that's going to be a lot of stacking. Let's make enough room for like 3 of them. So there, there. That's 12 trains in a stacker. That's going to be more than enough, I believe. Probably significantly so. All right, let's cut it off right there, and we'll leave the rest of this down here as kind of a reserve. And we might not even need to use it. And I hope we don't, because that's going to mess up with our power pole setup there. All right, so then we don't need any of that. Is that gonna work? Nope, one more. And I can't select that piece. I'm gonna have to take that one out. All right, so that feeds the stacker, and then we're going to want some rails that are going this way. These power poles, I believe, are going to need to be reran. And I want a station. I think we can actually make this like super small, because we're not going to be loading or unloading anything. It's just going to be hanging out. No, that's not true. That's not true now that I'm thinking about it. And then send you up like that. All right, and then on this side, we need to space those out, and I'll just build this, and then I'll explain it a little bit as we go. All right, so we've got some stations here. We'll throw some more stations here. There's going to be X number of stations here. Rethinking. We'll take that out, and let's duplicate this right there. Yeah. This isn't what I originally planned, but I think I like this idea better. All right, let's just take you like maybe one additional space just to give us a little bit of tolerance. All right, and that might make it where we actually need more down here in the stacker department, so we may have to move this up. All right, so now that this is set up, let's talk about Impractical and the way we did it. We had this single line of waiting areas, basically, and this kind of served as a refueling area as well. Let's say we had an iron train, very, very simply. The iron train would come up to this area and refill, well, that's steel, come up to this area and refill with iron, and then its next station would always be this waiting area, and it would come to this area and wait, and all these were just generic waiting stations, every single one of them. So it would come here and wait, and it would just sit here and wait until it received that iron signal. And once it got that iron signal, it would go off and deliver iron to wherever iron was needed. And then it would come back here and fill up. And then it would come back to this station. It worked out really, really well. The problem that you had is I just had a whole bunch of these stations and they were all generically named. So all the trains just came to any one of these stations. It didn't matter. So an iron train would come through. And if we got another iron train that maybe took up this spot, so we had two iron trains waiting, an iron signal would come. Well, they would both get it at the same time, and they would both go. Even though only one station may have been requesting something, we would have two iron trains that came in. So what my thought with this setup is, we will have two stations in a row here. Can I make some more train stops? I can. Let's do that. And I don't know how we're doing on signals. Actually, we're doing okay on signals. So the idea, what I want to do here is not necessarily have just generic station names, but have it where this may be the iron waiting area. And then we have this second level, which would be like the iron launch area. So if we had two iron trains, and we didn't have any requests, one would be backed up here and the other one would be backed up here. So he would go and fill up with iron. His next station would be the iron refueling station or whatever. Then his next station would be right here, which would be the iron launch station. So at any given time, we only have one resource in the chamber ready to go out. So then when that iron signal comes in, this guy will pick it up and he'll go and do it. Then we have a train right here ready to go that's going to be next in line. And then if we get another iron signal, that'll send that one off. And if we have like 4 iron trains, well, those other iron trains are going to be down here in the stacker waiting to go to the next area here. Which is why I was considering such a large stacker. It's because I'm not sure how many trains we're going to run. But we only have one launch area and we can control that. Now, to control that, we'll have to control it with pulses instead of just signals going out on the line. So we'll have to send out like a coal pulse or an iron pulse whenever a station needs something. And then we can keep track of those counts in a counter, much like we did with the sushi series. And then once this train is launched, we'll decrement that counter and we'll keep track of it like that. That's why I was mentioning a couple of episodes ago that power brownouts, things like that, are going to be kind of a big deal in this series and something that we don't want to mess with. I think this is okay. I might take this an additional step up, but then we're going to want to take the out. We got the in already. We want the out, which is also off. Maybe we'll do that right here. You need to go down. We're definitely going to want signals going out. Like that. And that's going to give us a little bit extra. I mean, we might be able to do this with a T-junction. The problem is I think we would have a cross. And the station didn't line up the same because they're actually facing the other way. Well, we might be able to actually set up 2 staging. All right, I kind of like that. It builds in a little bit of room for expansion should we need another line here of trains. That's Kitch trying to make something look intentional that really is not. All right, so we can take that up like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Take off these little nubs as best we can. Yeah, I think I want to take you guys all the way to the end, just as far as you will go. Well, I mean, if we take that idea right there, that is plenty of room. We could probably move you guys up a ways. Maybe like right there. And you guys we can keep in reserve. Signal, 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 signal. All right, yeah, and I think I am going to take this up a ways, maybe like 2 or 3 more stacker spaces, just to get up and give us a little bit of room. And we'll see how that works. So, like, you would be... what do we want to call this? I guess it would technically be a train refuel. Let's call it train... I don't know, what kind of symbols do we have here? Maybe rail signal? What about item equals train stop? Item equals, like, let's say this is the coal staging area. So this will go right here, and then this one will be item equals locomotive, maybe? With the resource. So our coal trains will line up here or in the stacker. And then we can do iron, copper, steel, stone. Iron plate. Item equals copper plate. Item equals steel plate, etc., etc. And then you go out. We'll have to signal that to make that a little bit tighter. But I don't know. It's an idea. We'll see if this works. But yeah, the idea of just having all our trains loaded up here and then only having one barrel to launch each train out of, but then having backup stations here where the next one's going to be ready to go. I think I think that solves the problem of having multiple trains going out. And then it also solves another problem that if you try to limit the trains you have based on the item loading, you have that extra item loading time that's in there. They don't get a chance to buffer up and get ready to go. And you can potentially have some throughput problems there. I can't prove that. I haven't really tested it, but that's just something that I'm thinking in my mind. And that's a scary place. All right. Well, I'm going to, let's cut this out. Put it right there for now. And let's copy this and add like maybe one, two more. We'll have a mega stacker, and then place you on the top of that. All right, and I need to make a little bit of room in there for I don't necessarily think we'll need a turnaround, but we will need a passenger station. So I need to work on that. All right, well, that's the idea. We'll see if it works. I don't know. We'll find out. But thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode, where probably playing with some circuitry here, and we're going to have to set up maybe like red and green science somewhere so that we can get everything running and test. We'll test it out with that. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Boy, these robots are slow. Have a good one.